On the line, the Premier, Denis. Napthine, good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
You're going to change the Act?
Well, I think the tape you've just played identifies a significant problem with this legislation and regulation, and that's why when I heard that Mick Gatto had been approved to have a licence under this Act on Tuesday of this week, I've now called for a review of the Act and the regulations because it seems extraordinary to me that there is no fit and proper person test for people to promote boxing and combative sports in Victoria.
Well, it's within your hands, isn't it? If you want to change the Act, you change the Act.
Well, that's right, and that's what we're going to be looking at because it seems extraordinary to me that there should be at least a fit and proper person test as a first step. But I've looked at the regulations that were introduced, as I understand, in 2008, and all you have to do is know the Act and the regulations, any relevant rules, and any condition under which a licence issued. There's no test in any way, shape or form of the person's character or track record or ability with respect to what is a very important role as promoter of boxing and combative sports in Victoria.
So what's your worry? If you've got people promoting it, you don't want promoting it, you think it could lead to, challenges around the integrity of the sport?
Well, I think there's issues about the integrity of the sport, issues about the safety of the people participating in the sport, but particularly around the integrity of the sport. You've got to have people who are running these sort of sports who are committed to fair play, committed to proper ethics in sport, but particularly in these boxing and combat sports, you've got to have people who put the interests of the participants in terms of health and welfare ahead of everything else. And if we don't have people who've got that as the basis for their operating in the sport, then they shouldn't be there.
Just on another thing, this crash today, which has jammed the Tullamarine and CityLink, the whole city's chaotic. It just really shows the problem again, doesn't it, about traffic?
I think this does highlight the fact that we need alternate options for people to travel around Melbourne. And it shows that while CityLink has been terrific, that we've very much got all our eggs in one basket. And that's why the East-West link is absolutely vital. And that's why we want the support of the state opposition here in Victoria for the East-West link, and we want support from the federal Labor government so we can get on with this job. We're ready to build. We're ready to go to expressions of interest. We're ready to start works on this in late next year, and we want the federal government to come on board.
Okay. Hey, did you see Tony Abbott's speech last night?
No, I was at the Boston-Melbourne Cities function last night. Obviously important relationship for Melbourne and Victoria, but also in following the tragedy at the marathon. But I have caught up on a bit of it, and
it was a new calm Tony.
I think it was very statesmanlike.
Is that what it was?
Very statesmanlike from Tony. The segments I've seen, and I was very pleased with his commitment to abolish a carbon tax, commitment to East-West link, and his ongoing commitment to families. I think that's really important.
You sound like Bill Shorten, who said he didn't know what the Prime Minister said, but he agreed with her. You didn't see Tony Abbott, but he was terrific.
But I've had a brief on the content, and I've read the papers this morning of the key issues, and I actually saw a few clips of his style, and I agree with you. His style was very, very statesmanlike, very professional, and I think that if we can perhaps move him on from wearing blue ties all the time, we might...
Oh, no, that's it. All he's got. I've had a go at him about that. By the way, boxing, Mick Gatto, why don't we just ban boxing?
Well, Neil, boxing's certainly not my cup of tea. It's not something that I would attend or have attended, but it is a legitimate Olympic sport, and there is a substantial professional industry across Australia and around the world. What we're really on about in boxing is make sure that we have fairness in our promotion and involvement in those sports, and health and safety is paramount. Health and safety must be paramount when you're dealing with these sort of combative sports.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Neil.
Premier Denis Napthine.